Hello everyone and welcome back to the DeGods channel. So tonight we have a special stream with Mac from the X Plus Discord club subDAO. And because something happened today, like we had announcement of season 3 for DeGods, and I wanted to talk with you all in the chat and with Mag and like a couple of other guys, but I think Crushit and Genesis will show up later. But that's why we're here tonight. So Mag, first thing first, how you doing, bro?
What's going on, man? Good to be back on the show.
Yes.
Not such a great day for the DeGods, but holding in. Pretty bad FUD to anybody that follows this stuff. They probably are seeing on the timeline. Lots of FUD, lots of selling, but we're holding up decently well. Actually, aren't doing a full Azuki crash, so could be worse.
Wait for Sunday, bro.
Yeah, it could get worse. I'm hoping it gets.
But I mean, like, we're not deleting. That's cool. Like, we have more variation of the art. We can take that. But like, it was a surprise in a way. Like, that was interesting. Like the event that all rolled out since yesterday and today. Yeah, they were definitely interesting. So like, what's how do you feel personally, like, with everything that happened in the last 24 hours?
Yesterday we got the tweet 3 o'clock. We're gonna get the 3 announcements. I'm feeling good. I'm sleeping Utes. I slept some Utes. And then the first announcement came, Utes are going to ETH. And then everyone's like, oh, Mag, great job. You bought those Utes just in time. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling good. I got the Utes. We're going to ETH. Like, all right, I'm thinking this is going to be the best day ever. And then, the day kept going on and there was nothing. And I'm in New York City, so it got to about midnight by my time and still nothing. So I was starting to feel a little bit like, okay, this is not so good. And I don't know. I'm my guess, and I'm just totally guessing here. I have no idea, no alpha, no insider info, but maybe they announced the Utes and they thought Utes were going to pump really hard. And then because they didn't really do too much, maybe they kind of panicked. And then they're like, oh no, this isn't working. And then, is my mic good? And then maybe they just started panicking and maybe that's why it got delayed. I don't really know. But woke up today to the new art and a lot of people didn't love that. And then we had the big whale sell also, if you want to get into that. So it was just a rough day, a roller coaster of emotions.
That's what happened a couple of hours ago. That was not in my talking point when I read that for the stream, but we can definitely talk about it because like in the chat, if you're not aware of it, like we had 100 DeGods that was like sold, not even on the floor, but by pressing the bid buttons. So it's just like, is that a flash crash?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about it is it's kind of like it's done. Exactly. Now it's done. And now those will get spread out into new holders, Yeah. So it's kind of good that one person doesn't have that much power, in the long run. Today, it stinks, nobody wants to see, price go down and all that. But in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, next couple of months, new people will buy those DeGods. They'll get spread out. And in the long run, it's actually better because you don't want one person to be able to just spaz out and crash a project. So it's a bad day, but I think it's actually good in the long run.
Yeah, maybe it's the good price to entry price.
Yeah, a lot of new people. I saw a couple tweets, so I'm getting like blown up with DMs too because everybody's everybody's still in a little bit of in the panic mode. But yeah, I saw a couple of people tweet actually already today, like, been wanting to buy DeGod, been waiting, couldn't afford it, waiting for the dip, and it's just like the FTX crash, that was a really bad day too, but that ended up being there's CBD. But that ended up being a great day for a lot of people because we got a lot of new community members, and in the end of it, we ended up stronger. So those really, really crappy days like today, you know, they suck. I'm not going to pretend that it was a good day, that I had a great, you know, fun losing money today. But I think the project is still just as strong as ever. I think Frank will pivot, and I think once those DeGods get, you know, distributed into new holders, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. CBD, hi. Do you want to be doxxed? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. So I'm just asking to make sure, like, I can put you on the YouTube frame, but yeah, I'm loading you up on YouTube as it is. You don't want your PFP to be displayed, right? Like, I mean, you're good with camera. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So then upload your PFP, and I will put you on YouTube. But welcome home, bro. That's a good question from here, because yeah, it will disable. Okay, refresh and upload your PFP, and then you should be able to disable the camera. Refresh, disable the camera, upload your PFP, and then I can display. Cool. Thanks, bro. Okay, cool, nice. So we would be 3 people here. Let's go. What's up? Tag. Cool. Okay. And yeah, Mr. Rob, with the incorporation of new art, hence the project marketing and trajectory leading to increased value extrapolation. What the fuck? Bro, like, don't type that kind of question. I have to read them, man. With the incorporation of new art, hence the project marketing and trajectory leading to increased value extrapolation based on the more marketable nature of the art. Mike, do you have an answer to that?
Yeah, I think what he's saying is like the new art, if it's more maybe mainstream, is easier to market DeGods and stuff.
Exactly.
I think that's what they wanted to go for, you know.
Yeah.
They want to remove the gore, they want to remove the blood and all that. I think they could have removed that stuff and that still have the art be better, you know. But I think that's what they're gonna do. I think, you know, this reaction was not great. The art was probably not so great. We can talk about that, but it's good. You got the reaction. And by the way, keep in mind too, we didn't actually launch anything today. Today was just a preview. People didn't like the preview, so now they change it. You know what I mean? Everybody's in sort of a bit of a too much of a panic mode. I think it's like Rob said in the chat. I think in the long run, yes, it will be more marketable, and that will make the price more valuable in the future. That's the long-term goal. Today was just a little fumble, but that I think that is.
Exactly. And yeah, CBD, how was your day?
Pretty good, not too bad. I'm not as let me think. I'm not sure the term. I'm more relaxed. I've held plenty of things to zero, so the fact that I bought in the day after mint and been through all the turbulence as high as 33K floor price to right now, which is about almost a third of that. You kind of get numb to it after a while.
So yeah, you didn't go crazy because you get used to it. That's good.
Yeah, no, I didn't like sell anything or floor anything or like whatever. Like, yeah, at this point, I'm still like, way up. You could argue like, oh, you didn't sell the top, but nobody knows like what the top is. So
yeah, the top is 100 ETH, nothing less.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just chilling. I'd like to see like 20 back to 30K floor price. That'd be nice, or 50K. I kind of go by USD. Like I don't really go by ETH or Sol. If ETH goes down to $200, then obviously I'm not going to be happy with 20 ETH. So
I mean, like, and from here, okay, what do we need to do or to have to get back to 20 ETH?
Oh, okay, me. Let me think. Okay, so I think a lot of people are like, we're talking about the art today, but honestly, if the art stayed exactly as is and he released 2 or 3 other things that he might already have up his sleeve, for example, maybe the points thing, then it may not have dumped as much. Maybe it would be up another ETH or 2. So the art is cool and stuff, and people want good art, and people would argue that DeGods is pretty decent. Some saying that the new stuff, season 3, looks like it's like a downgrade. He explained, well, we didn't want it to be like too crisp, but it seems like a lot of people kind of want that. They want like the Utes vibe where it's like extremely clean looking. I did think it was going to be a little bit cleaner because he kept pushing the whole Apple vibe, and so I thought it was going to be sort of like that, where Apple's really crisp and clean, and he just went really simplistic. And I have no issue with simplistic. I don't even care. I honestly don't care what the art is. Like, I'm not gonna have a PFP that's like ugly, per se. But I'm not someone who's like, this art is really bad. now we're gonna like tank, because if the art was what it was and the utility, which is what all these fudders keep saying, like, oh, we have no utility, we've never had any utility ever, zero. Okay, well, we're doing pretty good for no utility. So if he actually adds some utility, which I'm not saying he never has, but if he were to do that now and add something, boom, with the points or whatever he's got up his sleeve, then I don't know if people would really care as much about the art. If their bags are going up and the art is exactly what it is now, I feel like more people are going to FUD when things are tanking.
Yeah.
They don't like the art. When everything's green and shiny, everybody likes everything that's released. When it's a bear market, then everybody's like, oh, I don't like anything.
Yeah. And in a way, like the art is like optional anyway, right? Like if you don't like it, just flex your DeGods PFP, right?
Yeah,
like,
they're not taking that away. So you have 4 choices.
Exactly.
So you stay with this as is, and all you can be mad at is the wasted of time. They spent all that time on S3, and you say, well, I'm not going to use it. And they say, okay, that's fine, but let's move on to the utility. I would be on board with that. Don't spend any more months and months and months and go back to the drawing board. Okay, now here's 5 PFPs each. Here's 6 PFPs each. Like, what? No. Let's get to the other stuff. Let's get to the important stuff. We already have decent art. Now you have 4 things to choose from. We don't need to kill another 6 months, because 6 months turns into 9 for Frank. So if we tell him a month, it's going to turn into 4. So I say do not do anything else with the art, and let's move on in life and get to something else.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing, because like, so basically we will have like more utility for dust and stuff like that, and if we have like the parlor, then we will get back some dust. People will get like
we waited too long with this dust stuff. Right now we're hovering at $2 for 2 or 3 months. That's very bullish to sit there that long with 0 utility. So he keeps saying he has like 5 or 10 use cases, or he did before, or Kevin has created some. Okay, well, let's get 2 or 3 rolling. Let's get some rolling, and just worry less about the art. I'm fine with 4 choices. I was fine with 1 choice. Now I have 4. I don't think he needs to spend another 3 to 6 months on that. But if the majority rules, I'll go with that. I'll go with the flow. I'm never gonna like, oh my god, I'm selling. But the people who are selling based on the new art being ugly, that is kind of weird to me. It's like, okay, we'll just keep the old art. But I understand they're like, well, everybody's gonna floor, so I got to floor too, because I don't want to like lose money. Those are those type of people. I guess you could say the traders, or their life, their net worth is in their DeGod. Like, that's fine with me. But I'm just gonna continue to chill and hope that we get to the utility part, the points part, the fun part. The art is not fun for me. I'd like a nice PFP, but let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah, that's good. And so, what's your take on the parlor? You like it? You like the concept?
Oh, you said the palette?
Yeah, no, the parlor, like the points parlor.
Yeah. I kind of like skimmed it real quick until I actually use it. I'm not really sure what it does. It looks like basically sort of like a slot machine, or you spin it and then you get dust, and you have a chance to win a prize. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a loot box, right? Like, you use points, you get something inside the
Okay. So the worst you can get is dust, and then the best you can get is something like better than that.
A Tesla.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I actually thought it was going to be like a store where you like shop. Yeah. So this is a little bit different, but the store didn't really make sense to me, because how could they afford to just let people click and buy like multiple Teslas, multiple sweatshirts? Like, they'd start getting drained. So now you could win 1 dust, or you can win a Tesla. That makes more sense to me, that they can afford that.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Mike? Are you going to wear your season 2 or season 3 PFP?
Well, if they don't change the season 3, I'll probably be sticking with season 2. I differ a little bit with CBD. I mean, I agree with him. Redoing it is risking months and months, because, like you said, give Frank a month, he's gonna take 6. That's just usually how it goes. So I agree with that part. But I do think the community is really not on board with this new art. So either they have to scrap the new art altogether, which I think would be kind of like too drastic after all these promises, or they have to fix it in some type of way. Because obviously, based on what we saw today, people really aren't happy about it. And then you talk about the points parlor. I think it's a really awesome concept, and that could really take off and go viral, but it's getting totally overshadowed by everybody who's bummed out about the art, who's dumping. And then, like he said, one whale dumps, and then people start freaking out, and then they want to get out, and then everyone's talking about all this negative stuff, when the points parlor could be a huge positive. And we got all the cool IRL stuff, like we met IRL in New York. It was a blast. I know you've been to a bunch of the events, and I think that's really where we shine, is the people and the community and the events, and then like adding in the points and the free money and free prizes. Like, all that stuff is getting overshadowed right now, though, by the art. And so Something has to be done with it. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be modifying it, scraping it all together. I know Frank City had some other versions that they didn't go with that he was thinking about releasing. So who knows? Maybe he'll put those out, and the community will like the ones that the team thought were crappy. You know what I mean? You never know, because I remember they released some of the old Utes pictures, and I like Utes and everything, but to be honest, I thought some of the older ones look cooler. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll release some of the art that they thought wasn't good, and the community will love it, and then that'll be the problem solved right there. So I don't know. I think we just have to kind of get past this art drama one way or another, and then we can get bullish again. I really do think this is going to be. I think this is going to be just a bump in the road.
Yeah. 100%. I think, yeah, like exactly, like we can have like utility. Let us play with the utility, which is ready right now to launch and stuff. And then, yeah, if you want to play with the art, we can have like a season 3.5, right? Like it's fine. But at least we can play with like some packs. I want to stream the packs and open some more of packs on stream. That could be cool. It could be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start opening some loot boxes, and
exactly.
that's really what I hope we do at this point. Honestly, is let's get the loot boxes going. Let's get some positivity going. Let's have somebody win a Tesla, a MacBook, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they can work out the art in the background. You can do both, because they were planning on doing it both at the same time anyway. So let's start opening up some loot boxes.
Yeah, we don't need to hear about the art. Just do it, and then just release it randomly one day when we're not even thinking about it, and then like that will make things go green. Don't tell us it's coming, it's coming. Give us a date. 2 hours late, like that's not going to make things green. Like no, just don't even tell us. And then boom, when we're sleeping one day, and everybody says, "Holy smokes!" and you wake up and we're up 2 ETH, 3 ETH, 4. Like that would be better. And go back to the crispness if you're going to change it, because it seems like everybody wants that. I know he didn't want to be too close to Utes, but honestly, if our DeGods were Ute art, I think most people would be like happy about that. But I understand why he doesn't want to emulate that or copy that. He wants to keep it a little bit different. But I think people like the crisp stuff. So and I see why what they're looking at now. They say, "Oh, this looks like this project. This looks like that project." I won't name any, but I understand liking the crisp. I like the crisp. I like simplistic. So I think if he has something up his sleeve, or he can backtrack to some art that they canceled, I think that actually might work out. And but this is the risk you take when you don't have any leaks. If he would have said, "Okay, guys," and just tweeted something like 3 months ago, then we wouldn't be here. We've already scrapped it. But then people would have dumped then, but it could have been 50 people as opposed to 500.
Yeah, that's like the leaks are a good way to test like the art and like the reaction that you can get on the timeline anyway, right? Like it's kind of tricky too, because then like also what happened with Utes, right? Like the Utes art first got furred a little bit too, right? Every time they say they release art, there is some fud anyway, but
nothing. I haven't seen anything released since the bull market back in 21, at the end of 21, beginning of 22. Everything, it doesn't matter what you had, it could just be so ugly, and it would just moon. But now it's the complete opposite. It doesn't matter if it's 10 out of 10. It's just basically looks like it's going to go down, because that's how the world is right now. Everybody's looking for like a quick Pepe.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe it's like the strategy in a bear market, it needs to be completely different. And maybe like the hype stuff for months works in a bull, because like everything is hype all the time and everyone is expecting that shit to go top right anyway. And in a bear, because everything is slow and etc., like people get bored and they have to have something. And when it's coming after like a year of work, whatever like they were waiting for, they're like it's not up to the expectation anyway. It's tricky. It's like
back in the day, things would go green all the way up to like maybe 48 hours, 24 hours before, and then it would start to like, okay, it would kind of stay stagnant, and then it would probably go down. Maybe it'd go up a little bit after announcement, but this time it sort of like crept up, crept down. It never just shot up before, and then it came out, and it was like, oh man. But yeah, if he would just start throwing out just different shots, the point thing and this thing, just kind of like you said, he wants to do like a weekly thing. 3 or 6 months is too long, but I understand that he has a very difficult task on putting something new out all the time. Like I wouldn't even know how to do that. I know he has a lot of minds helping him, but to just have stuff put out all the time, some stuff's always going to be small, some's going to be large. So he could say, okay, we're going to do a weekly thing, and then 1 week it could be something just completely tiny, kind of like the Utes announcement. He's like, okay, Utes is going to ETH, and people are like, oh, why'd you even tell us that? Like that's bearish. Like that's not an announcement. Like he's just telling you guys, I don't know what you want to do. Like some people were saying he should have came out with the best thing first, but I'm not sure that's the right answer either. Usually you work your way up to the best thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why he's saving points for last.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everything is complicated. It's more complicated in the bear market, right? But like, yeah, also about youth. Like, so basically we had like the reveal, like we had art and stuff, and then we had the bridge. But like, yeah, do you think they had a plan with the youths on Polygon with like Starbucks collabs and stuff like that, or they try also to figure it out and obviously it didn't like make sense to stay on Polygon? Mike, do you have a take on that?
Polygon, yeah, I think they tried it and it just didn't work. And then you know, the volume was just bad. And I know I swept some Utes before the announcement. And I didn't know. I kind of knew just because it was obvious. I didn't have any insider information, but so it was just a pain in the ass, you know, to bridge into that. And then I didn't have any Matics, and then I not only had to bridge my ETH to Polygon, but I had to get a Matic token. And once you have it, it actually works pretty well. It's kind of like Sol, but then it's like, all right, well, let's just stay on Sol at that point.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think, you know, they gave it a shot. It didn't work. I know they made a couple million off BTC DeGods. They probably figured, and they're making, you know, 20, 40K a week on royalties on DeGods on Blur. And then today they made a lot more than that. Today they had we hit number one on volume today, maybe not number one on price. Well, I think they figured, you know, they're making some decent money on royalties. They made a nice chunk on BTC DeGods, and so they figured, you know, this youths, they need to be free. And so Frank, you know, putting the community first, like he usually always does, said, you know what, fuck it, I'll give the 3 million back for the good of the community. And you know, and again, that's just another reason that even though today stinks, it's hard not to stay bullish because of just decisions like that, you know, and that's not gonna, you're not gonna see that pay off in a couple weeks, a couple months when that hype starts up. Remember the hype for DeGods Bridge, you know, building up to it, the website, and then everyone doing it, and it was so seamless and it was so easy, and people were waiting in the line, and they're like, oh, should I boost it? But you know, you could they paid for the gas and everything. So all that hype for Utes is coming, and so it's just like, you know, again, I know I'm like a broken record, but today sucked. But I think tomorrow's going to be good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think tomorrow's going to be great. And I think Polygon just didn't work out. I don't know anything about Polygon. It's just, it just didn't work out. Too much of a pain. It's a pain in the butt.
I mean, it's just a good reminder, like no team is like completely like, you know, like gonna have like a success rate of 100%, like hitting big anywhere. And Dust Lab is not like, even if I want them to be, but like, yeah, that all the time winning big. Because like you say it like a whole day, right? Like the mint for BTC DeGods was like the best execution, or maybe it was first, the best execution of like a mint, and it was like just a banger. We can't have mint BTC DeGods events all the time, I guess. But yeah, exactly. It's just like, okay, so how long do you think, like CBD, how long do you think we will need to recover from today? Are we talking about months?
Oh, I mean, when I look at the thing, we're only down like 1.5 ETH. I'm not sure if I'm on the spot with that, but I think the major thing, which isn't really that major, is that there's 500 listed, and we sat at around 200 listed for like a while, like a month or so. So obviously some people had to dump, and so those have to get accumulated by people, whether it's blur farmers, whether it's free lunch, or whether it's just to pick some current holders, which have reached out to me and said that they actually are going to grab another one because of the dip. But yeah, I agree that today is the worst day. It's hard. It's like that's the only good news about days like this is like for tomorrow to be worse. It's going to take a whole lot to be worse. I mean, look at Azuki. Their launch was like boom. Everybody's like yay. And then like 5 hours later, they're all crying. And so I like, that's one thing he doesn't do or did not do is dilute. There's plenty of times where Frank could have said, I'm going to pocket this 2 mil. I'm going to take this 4 mil and all these different, I'm going to make 12 mil by making a new project. And he like, that's the one difference between him and all these other projects that sell their souls to larger companies. And, you know, let me give the money back to Polygon. It's like, so many people would just say, you know what, I'm just going to pocket this. I won't say a word. We're going to stay on Polygon, even though it sucks. Because I'm going to keep the money. I'm going to take 2 mil, give the team 1 mil, and we're going to suffer through it and just push through and then wait 2 years for Polygon to come around. But he doesn't do that. He just continues to flush the money and spread it throughout. such as the points thing that's about to come out, such as dust. They have all that dust that we've had to use to buy whatever, and they're not going to sell any for who knows how long. They've never dumped on us. They could have dumped plenty of times, 100 grand, 50 grand here, snuck in some here, and you see the treasury just sitting there, and it's going to continue to pile up and pile up. So other projects, Azuki, I mean, people were upset. Like, can you put some of that 40 million back in, flush some back in? And they come out with all these ideas and voted, and none of the ideas are what everybody wanted, which give that some of that money back, whether it's buying the floor or doing this, however you can do it. But that's the one thing that they won't do, and it's the one thing that keeps Frank separate, is he doesn't want to suck money out and say, sorry guys, tough crap. And so we didn't have to pay for anything today. No one spent a dime today. This all happened like this, and we haven't spent anything. You look at Azuki, and they got 40 million. I could not imagine half of that money going into DeGods today. Our floor would be way, way higher, and nobody would be down. And we haven't been diluted. So it's just crazy that there's certain people that are like scared to get into DeGods as he continues to do stuff like this. Finally, he made some money on freaking, BitGods, but that was a perfect storm, having 500 out of the 9,500. So that still wasn't diluted. They're on Bitcoin, the whole block, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think that's the reason people stick around.
Yeah, exactly. And like, do you think like the fact that DeGods is not number one on ETH and YOT is coming over, can it be detrimental for the DeGods collection, or it's not related at all? It's two different IP and two different.
I say no matter what, it's always going to be a little bit, even if it's on separate chains, different times, different color, different art. It's always going to be a little bit. It's not going to be the same as like, obviously like Azuki or a project that just like Bored Ape, or they just have the mutants. It's never going to be that bad. But as much as people say we're separate, we're not 100% separate. We can be 50 or 60 or 70. But yes, coming over to ETH, it's not going to make like both of us do better. Some people are going to say, oh, now I'll grab a Ute. I was going to get a DeGod. Let me get 3 Utes. And before they say, I'm not touching Polygon. I'm not doing that. So yes, it would be silly for someone to say that none of the money is going to flow into each other, that we're always going to be sort of connected at the hip. But Frank does have a good amount of time to spread between. He knows how to keep it separate in that aspect. But we do have a shared Discord now. But you can't, you have to have a Ute to go in that room, and you got to go in this room. So it was just too complicated before. He was trying to keep it way, way too separate. And like I said, the money will continue to flow a little bit between, especially because I feel like 20 to 30% of holders, they own both. So
yes, 100%. Yeah, like the community is not the same, but like, we are close cousins, that's for sure. And how long do you think is like? How long can they take to push the Utes bridge to ETH before there is a riot in the streets, like New York?
I mean, they have to think before. I'm not like an expert. Maybe Matt can touch on this, but I would think that they could have it done like within a month. But I don't know how it takes to build that stuff. But if they're just literally copying, pasting because they've already done it, I don't know like why it would take so long. I think they should get that out, squeezed out pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it's all about like DeGods season 3 right now, like maybe they can put that after like a couple of weeks during the DeGods season.
Yeah, because we still have the new art coming out for Utes, so I don't know if he's gonna like show that and then say, okay, I'm guessing you're gonna cross over first and then you're gonna convert. There's no reason to convert like while you're on Polygon, so I think it's gonna be crossing over first. So now they have to sort of do that soon because no one wants to wait on Utes season, Utes 2 art, like 3 or 4 months. They want to get that within a month or two. So they got to have the bridge, I'd say pretty soon.
Bro, like they can do the upgrade while they bridge, like you bridge.
If they want to intertwine, I don't know if it'd make it more complicated or like a higher risk of something going wrong, because I was going to say that, but they might say, okay, crossover and then convert. But if they can do a 2-in-1, that would be awesome. Like you submit this and you get the new one back. And that could be something that they do.
I will stream that too.
Oh yeah, sure.
That could be cool. Mac, do you have a take on that? Like how many months can you wait before bridging use?
Well, as many as it takes, I guess, now that I got these things. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a technical guy, so I don't know, what goes into all that. I would think it would be easier technically because Polygon is like is already like interoperable with ETH by default. So I would think it'd be easier. As far as timing goes, I'm not sure. And then your other question, you're talking about how long it'll take to recover, is like CBD said, we didn't even dump that hard. Like considering the FUD, we didn't even dump that bad. So I think we could be back on our feet in a couple of weeks, honestly, if we turn it art. And then yeah, as far as the Utes Polygon to ETH bridge, I don't know. I mean, the team is so sporadic with their stuff. It's like 1 second they're right on the ball, and then today they and I forget which one of you guys said it, but it's like, remember, the team is made up of people, and none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I look like a bozo all the time, and then sometimes I look like a genius. It's just like we all have good days and we all have bad days. So. I know we're going to have good days again. And, as far as the timing goes, I'm not sure on the bridge. I'm guessing we'll do season 3 to get that hype going for a month or 2. And then they'll start up the bridge hype. So if I had to guess, and I'm pulling this out of my ass, I'd say maybe 2 months from now, we'll be talking about the use bridge, but could be sooner, could be later. Who knows?
Like, bro, like you are more genius than you are bozo. Like,
I try to keep it at least 50.
Do you think youths will need to spend dust on the art upgrade?
I don't know. There's been so much controversy about the dust on this, which I always thought was kind of silly, because it's like, you don't have to do it. It's kind of like we're talking about the art. You don't have to upgrade the art. You don't have to pay the dust if you don't want to. You don't have. All this stuff is optional. It's like CBD was saying. We didn't. Frank didn't steal the 40 million and give us dilution. Everything that we have here, even if you think it sucks, and you don't have to do it. You don't have to participate. You're not forced to spend the 800. You're not forced to spend the dust. You're not forced to upgrade the art. So that's why I was saying on the X Plus space, we kind of did an emergency X Plus space. A little plug there on Tuesday 9 p.m. Check us out. But I was saying, our foundation is just as good today as it was yesterday. It was just it's just a bad day. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
People with no dust, like, they want it to be free, and people who have dust want it to cost dust. So it's kind of like you can't please everybody. These people have bags of dust, whether it's 100 or 100,000, and they're like, can you please make something with dust? And people who have zero are like, oh, what are you doing? That's not fair. Like, I sold all mine, or I never bought any, or make everything free. Like, I don't have a job, I have no money. Like, I don't know what to say. If they can't afford $50, $100, it's just hard to believe when everybody's throwing money around. And I know some people are in like countries where if they own a god, like literally, like that's their net worth. So I don't know what to say about that other than to like wait, maybe take a loan out from another god, some sort of system where you can do like Blur, but give me that would be something kind of cool. But majority of people either can afford it, or they just say, well, I can, but I shouldn't have to. I don't want to pump this guy's bags just because he's held dust and believed more than I have.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why, like, listening to your community, it's so fucking hard, because you will have like one guy who's like working like minimum average job and like have an opinion because it doesn't have like the liquid to upgrade his NFT, and you will have like someone else who will have like who will be a VC and have like millions to train DeGods, and then like the incentive are not the same. Like, in a way, I mean, the scale of the incentive are not the same. You can't please everyone by definition. And then you have
some people say like, oh, the whales, the rich get richer, like don't do anything for them. It's like, dude, they either put the most money in or they got in the earliest and haven't sold. One of those two, and both of them are super bullish for the project. So I'm not sure what else to say for people that say like, oh, free lunch capital, he's just gonna like win even more. It's like, okay, well, he continues to buy, like he has a lot of money. I don't know what to do. I mean, you can't only give stuff to people that have one NFT and just only give them the stuff. It works both ways. I'm sure Frank stays in close contact with free lunch or anybody else who's a big brain, huge, and just brings them in under his wing and says, look, guys, like y'all are gonna be like really, really wealthy with this and that. Can you maybe not do this or drop it all at once? Can you hit me up if you want to do that and stuff like that? Or at least like talk to the community. Like some of them are doing that, and then you have people who don't say a word and they just sell 20 gods in 2 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fascinating, but also like tricky as fuck to manage. And Frank, next time drop a DM to Mag and he can tell you if the art is good or not.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he did show some people, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think he showed you a couple people, and I'm surprised that nobody like told him maybe not to do it or whatever. Maybe a couple did.
I think it's just hard for people to, everyone knows I'm a dick, so I don't have a problem with it. But I think, and even for me, it's hard sometimes, because Frank, even after this dump, I'm still up big on DeGods, and I'm getting a lot of friends, and Frank's done a lot for me, and so. It's just like, if your family or anything, it's like, it's hard, if your mother paints a painting, she asks you if it looks good and you don't want to break her heart and tell her it looks bad. But you know, in this case, your mom is trying to sell these paintings for $20,000, so you kind of have to be honest. So I don't know, you know, and they were talking about color palettes and stuff, and I think you know that's another thing that happened where I think they got a little too deep into like the wanting it to be like, and I tweeted that out like 20 minutes ago. Is like we're kind of like the misfits of Web3. You know, that's always what the gods have always been about. That's always what's made us special. You know, and when you meet up IRL, you see that everyone's so unique and different. And I think they got a little wrapped up in trying to have it all like blend perfectly together and be perfectly smooth. And it's like I think DeGods is just not that. You know, maybe that works for Utes and maybe that works for some other projects, but I think DeGods is just that crazy out there, different daring sort of things, you know. So I think we'll get back to that.
But I mean they need to scrap that. Okay, so like the ideal scenario is like to launch the art as it is, people upgrade, and then like CBD said, on Monday I'm going to bed, and then on Tuesday I get a Lappy PFP that Misfits collection. Let's go. That's what we want. Or basically we go back to S2.
unless they can do something within like a month. They don't want to do some sort of like drawn out thing. If they do, just don't even say a word. Let's move on to the next thing and just leave it alone. But if Frank brought me in and said, look at this art, I mean, I'm a fanboy, so I probably would have sugarcoated it or said, oh, like I think it's fine, like maybe change this or that. But you got to bring in the people who are going to be real serious. And some of them, it's like they only have one DeGod, so it's like, all right, we're really going to bring this guy in and change the whole thing for this one person. So they got to ask some higher ups, I guess.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Or next time, just leak it out little by little, right? Like if he had just dropped this, that exact picture that they put out today or last night or whatever, if they put that out a month ago, everybody would have had the same reaction, and then you would have got that information a month earlier instead of waiting until the absolute last second to show anybody anything. And then it's like, oh damn, now I got 3 days to figure this out because it's supposed to be on Sunday, and so they kind of got themselves into a little tricky situation.
But that hazmat leaked a while back, and I guess now it's legit.
Yeah, right. Brad's PFP. Right.
They did that for Utes, right? They scrapped Utes art like 2 weeks before the meet. That's why we had delays and shit, right? So
Yep. And that's exactly what they did. They leaked it, and I actually thought it looked cool, but you know, I don't know. Well, I guess they didn't, or somebody, whoever decided, and then they
if they showed us that, people would have said, no, you need to keep it. So that's kind of another thing. Like the leak isn't that bad. They need to show a few more people than they are showing, because a lot of people are like, they like the ones that Scum got rid of. Or they
I love those ones. I thought the Scum ones were the coolest ones, to be honest. I mean, Utes are cool, but I love the ones that Scum posted.
But Scum like also draw like DeGods, right? So maybe there is his taste that we don't have anymore, because like he obviously left the team a couple of months ago, like a year, like last year. Maybe that's why too. You know?
Well, unless I see the ones that they scrapped for the season 3.
Yeah.
They might show us some and say, whoa, yeah, you need to go back to that. And then we would say, okay, it wasn't like Scum's not the only reason. But I don't think there's anybody that would not want Scum to come back. I mean, when you have an artist that's that good, same thing with Candy Apple. Like if he leaves, it's like, we would actually rather you stay. But I understand some people want to go live their own lives and like create their own waves. And so he kind of moved on with that. So that's fine. But we do miss him. He was a great guy, apparently. I never met him, but I mean, I saw him in the chat, and then his art looks amazing.
I mean, like, and plus the pressure, plus like, redrawing, scrapping everything all the time and do it again. Like mentally, bro, you have to be fucking strong to take it and redraw again when you spend the last 3 months drawing every day. Bro, like, I don't know how they manage that shit, bro. Like, pressure is insane.
I agree. I would have my phone and my Twitter turned off for the last 24 hours that just occurred. And I don't know how much they get paid. Like I can't even like think of, artists is kind of weird. Like how do you pay artists? And then it's an NFT artist. And so, but I'm hoping that they get paid a decent amount, because like you said, the stress level is, they're not like gaining life expectancy at this point. Like a lot of freaking stress, high blood pressure.
It's like, bro, can you imagine today, like you have the whole community of non-holders and holders, like at least giving you a mixed feedback, like mixed reception of the art, and you spend like the last 6 months to it. Okay, so I know that Frank said like, we are not afraid of scrapping everything that we have worked for the last 6 months if it's not good enough. But mentally, bro, like,
bad. He doesn't sleep more than 3 or 4 hours a night already. So I do not envy his position, but I do look up to him and think he's a really nice person. But yeah, you're right. That's very, very difficult to continue to do that.
100%. And yeah, Mag, do you believe like Frank or the team will be able to deliver something every week, every 2 weeks?
It's gonna be tough. I mean, I asked him in X Plus. I was like, "When's the last time?" Because I'm the same way. I never take a day off. I trade,
Yeah.
and like I almost just like can't do it until I've accomplished my goals. So my goals are a lot smaller than Frank's, obviously, but I relate to him on that level where it's like I really don't remember the last time I took a day off. And I asked Frank, has he taken a day off since DeGods, and he was like, "No, I don't think so. It's been a long time, And he had been up for 2 days straight when he was in there talking to us at X Plus. Like, once again, shows how much of a great leader he is. Hasn't slept in 2 days, still in there talking to us. But yeah, do I think they're gonna be able to pull off this every 2-week thing? It's gonna be tough. I mean, it's gonna be tough. The cool thing about the points parlor though is if they can keep getting more sponsors and more prizes, and that can kind of like take care of itself. It's like a new loot box every week.
Yeah.
So that they could do. If they could get a new sponsor every week or every month, and there's a new loot box every couple of weeks, then that can kind of be automated, and maybe they throw in BTC DeGods or whatever. But as far as like coming out with something big, like CBD was saying, like the Bitcoin DeGods mint, that's not going to happen every day. That's not going to happen every month. That's like a once or twice a year thing. It's just the reality of it.
I mean, that's kind of the same model as Asset Dash, right? Like when you have like weekly giveaways and shit based on your investment, and you have your coins and the number of Venta that you hold. I love this model. It's pretty cool. I love it. And yeah, can't wait to get some ETH from my drops from the packs that I'm going to open live every week. It's gonna be a banger.
I think this is the risk that Frank takes. One difference between him and like Yuga is Yuga doesn't really like say a word, and Frank is very like an open book. So he could do the opposite and just shut everybody out, just build whatever, release whatever, and see what happens. But the fact that he does this and asks everybody, "Hey, what do you guys think?" Well, you have like Azuki and other people say, "Well, that's tough crap." Like, tough shit. We got our 40 mil. We're gonna go to sleep. Really, really good tonight. And maybe we'll throw you a bone here, or we'll change like the shade of the background. And Frank's over here like, no, I'm gonna give Polygon 3 million back, and you guys want me to change the art? Okay, we'll go back to it. Like, he's literally right there with us, asking us what we want. And some people would probably say that that's crazy that he could just shut us out and do whatever he wants. That's why we're so bullish and why we won't leave him.
Exactly. Yeah, can't say it better, bro.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I live in New York City, so I'm just looking forward to winning that Tesla. I don't have a car right now, so soon I'll be just driving around New York with a free Tesla for my points from the points loot box, and everything will be good. I can't wait.
Nice, let's go.
I'm sorry, bro, but the Tesla will be one on this channel. I'm sorry.
Wait, who said they only have one?
Yeah, true. No, but it's gonna be the Mac Tesla. There will be a gigantic sticker with like Mac PFP. It's gonna be my just to flex.
If they can keep a Tesla like always in stock, then it's gonna do the parlor is gonna do very well.
But how do you do that, man? Like, how do you buy a Tesla every quarter? I mean,
no, they're just sitting there. They could easily probably have a Tesla go out every month. I don't know how much money they have, but a Tesla's now is you can get one brand new for like 35. They're not saying what model it is. It could be a Model 3 base model which comes with autopilot. Now, here's what I don't know: is a lot of countries don't have a Tesla. So if you win it and you're in Africa, then they're going to have to say, okay, well, can we just give you 30,000 USD or something like that? And the person will gladly take it.
Yeah, give me a DeGod or two DeGods instead of the Tesla or Tesla shirt.
Apple products, Tesla products. Everybody there's not that many people out there that won't take these things. 98% of people really, really like those shiny things. So if they can keep Apple and Tesla rolling on there or cash, people are gonna be happy.
And if the sponsors, if this first round of sponsors gets a decent return, then it will be easier for Frank to sell to the next round of sponsors. And then that can snowball. And then
Mr. Beast, just like Mr. Beast.
Right, exactly. 2 years from now, we could be talking about seriously, Ferraris. Points parlor. It sounds crazy, but that's possible. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if things snowball and if the sponsorships are getting what they want, and then he can sell to bigger sponsors and bigger sponsors, I think that's the ultimate goal, and that's like the long-term vision. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
But it makes sense because again, and Frank mentioned it, so he's aware of that. We are like a highly targeted audience in Web3, but okay, so the community is quite diverse in in background and like geographical like situation, etc. But like there is a high chance that we also have the same interest, right? So if you find, yeah, again, like Apple product and shit, there is again like exactly what you said. Like there is a high chance that we can buy more or like be aware of a brand or something like that and develop like even more targeted ads than Facebook Pixel. It could be like the marketing power of that could be fucking massive for sure, which is interesting for the brand. And that was like supposed to, it was supposed to be like the youth's utilities with Polygon. But yeah, maybe we get that with the parlor. Could be exciting. Mag, you told me you have like 45 minutes. Are we good?
Yeah, I got to take off in about
Okay.
5 minutes. So
Okay,
you
no
got
problem.
anything else you want out of me? I guess ask away.
Just tell me, and because you had a long day.
Yeah. This is I started it off with the X Plus VC with Frank. Then we had the X Plus VC without Frank. Then we had the X Plus Space, and now I'm on this show. So yeah, I do got to take off in a couple minutes. So I don't know if there's any final question or anything.
Because you are a genius, and we all need your advices in those situations, bro.
Yeah, we all have our talents. Mine is yapping my mouth off. So that's the best. That's my best talent.
CBD, do you still have time?
Yeah, I think so. I could do a little bit. When does this get uploaded, or is this like live?
It's live. It's live. So the replay will be uploaded on the channel. Yeah.
Oh, how does that work? Like whenever it's completed, it's automatically uploaded, or does it have to upload after? Like
Yes,
it takes a couple hours.
No. It's right away. See,
oh, cool.
We're live, baby. The chat, they are live.
So when I came in earlier, like on the camera, like, can people see me?
No. You went out on the frame. That's why I asked you.
Oh, you have to click a button that adds me. I gotcha.
Exactly.
And who was supposed to be here? Is there anybody that's not here that was supposed to?
Crushit, but he got crushed. So.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I snapshotted. No, you didn't, bro, because he was not here. But whatever. Cool.
Are you okay? What country are you in?
I'm living in Malta, and I'm French.
Oh, okay. What time is it there?
3 a.m.
Oh my goodness, dang.
Bro, I'm like American friendly, right? So like guest friendly, and all of my guests are almost like all Americans because Web3. So yeah, just have to do what you have to do, right?
Yeah, true.
Okay, so yeah, about like the dust. Do you think like the parlor is like enough utility for the dust token itself, like to go to $5, $10? Yes, really.
Let me think. So the parlor, you have to spend points to win dust, correct?
Yes. So true. Okay. So my question is shit. You're right.
So I hope this better not be the dust utility because it's essentially
it's true.
Go down.
Yes. So yeah, we have the dust utility of the upgrade, and then we have the parlor where you can win some. Yeah. Okay. So you're right. Is that gonna be? Is the upgrade gonna be enough for the price of dust to pump, or nope?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna have to release some of the dust utilities.
Yeah, I got a jet, but I'll say this real quick on dust. They need to come up with something else for it. They turned off stake on stake. I really don't know why they did that, to be honest. It seemed totally random. I mean, I know they wanted people to stake, but I don't think anyone was not staking because of $2. So
yeah,
I didn't really understand that. But yeah, I agree with CBD. I think I don't want to end on FUD, but here. But
I wasn't funny. I just like silent. I was like, that's not gonna make dust go up.
Well, right, yeah, it's just the reality. It's like they need to come up with something for dust. If they don't, hey, it's a little tough.
But Mag, you do agree that there's no way they don't have anything ready for dust. Kevin's been like silent for like a year. Like they got stuff.
Yeah, Frank said that. He said they have new stuff coming. So that'll probably come after the points parlor and after all the art drama, and then maybe we'll get and that's kind of what they said anyway on the progress bar. They said dust was going to come after season 2 and after points. So again, once we get past this, there is still a lot to look forward to. Appreciate you having me on, man. I do got to take off, but good talking to you guys.
No problem. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate your time.
Man. You're the best, man. Thank you.
Yeah. thank you so much for what you have done today for the whole community against the FUDers. Cheers, bro. Okay, cool. And so yes, BD, it just joined me now. Just let me put back the camera. Tag. Just going to do that. So it's still pretty. Yeah, in the chat, like if you have any question, do not hesitate to ask away. And if
how many DeGods do you own?
54.
Oh, you're the 50 guy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How many people like who's below you? Does anybody have like 50 or 48 or something?
No one is below me, bro. I don't know. Like I know, like yeah, SBB, Solana Big Brain has more. Like Stress had more, and Lunch.
Yeah, so there's only like 3 people. You would know 3 people above you.
I think I'm top 10, maybe. Yeah, so, yeah, top 10, maybe less.
What was your cheapest? Your cheapest DeGod?
Oh, I minted.
Okay, and how many did you mint?
20.
Oh, me as well.
Yeah.
Minted like 22. I didn't mint actually. I bought them the day after, so I paid like 9 SOL and I bought 22.
Oh, let's go. That's what's up. Yeah, I minted like pre-sale public, and I bought like then on Alpha Art. I think I bought the first one ever listed.
Nice.
That was cool.
And so, what's the most expensive one you ever bought?
303 or maybe 500 SOL. But yeah, I remember I bought like one at 300.
How much was it USD or whatever?
I don't know. I'm calculating.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
What currency you are there?
Yeah, exactly. But I know that today I lost 250 ETH worth.
Well, you didn't lose it. You know, you didn't ever have it. You didn't sell, so
just paper. Like it's just on paper.
Yeah, up, down, up, down. As long as you sell one for a profit, then you're still good.
Exactly. And do you have an exit price yourself?
Not all of them. I don't think I'll do all of them at once, even though that's kind of hard to say because a lot of people actually do that. They say like they want to move on in life and they just click the button and like they're all gone. But at this point, it's kind of scary to sell. Like number one, because everybody knows who I am, and like I don't really ever sell. I'm not like a flipper, and I don't really. I'm kind of like you. Like I don't accumulate, or I haven't accumulated. I've only bought 2 ever that were not the day after mint. But yeah, I think it's I think my price would be like maybe 50,000 USD. I'd probably sell like 2 or 3.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's hard to say bye to those cheap eggs.
Yeah, that too, exactly. And at this point, it's almost like a safety net, like even for you.
Exactly. Oh, 1%. Like my portfolio is kind of like a hedge against inflation because of the slab.
Yeah, so like if real life goes great, then you don't need them, and if the opposite happens, then you say, okay, let me go ahead and sell them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have less attachment to my BTC DeGods, so they were probably the first to go because, like, I don't know, like the story is like the history. And for example, my PFP, like the team sent it to me because I won like a giveaway on the Solampus. You know, when we had like all of the influencers to tweet too.
Yeah.
I did that. Bro, I made a tweet, and after I made a tweet to one of those guys, he replied to stop being spammed by the community. And I made like the announcement that said, oh yeah, you have to stop tweeting to these guys. It was because of my tweet. So, okay, that's cool. And then I still won the PFP, so that was cool. I was happy.
Dang, nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, even this pharaoh has a story. So yeah, never gonna sell that shit.
What's your highest rank?
900. It's like the brain with like the red sportwear shorts. Yeah, maybe I can find it. But
oh wait, not the red background.
No, the red background. No. It's like the red shirt, like the sportwear stuff with like an open brain, and I think it's yeah. So it's cool, and I don't have like any rare. I don't have grails. I don't do that. I do quantity over quality. because we get more dust at the time, right? So
I did the same thing. I bought
all
all floors. Now, of course, I
Exactly.
regret not buying a couple Dylan helmets or something, but
yeah,
yeah, I bought all floors. And honestly, I tell everybody to do the same thing with any project ever. And
Yeah.
it's funny because when people don't do that, then they go on the buy sell trade and they're trying to flip for like more floors.
yeah, no, exactly. And like the risk of buying grails, it's freaking high, bro.
Yes,
Like,
exactly. Like if I were to go buy a Dylan right now for 100 grand, and then we have a day like today,
yeah,
then I'm
exactly.
almost back to break even.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
that's kind of risky.
like, if something that today happened, like the liquidity on grails is going to fucking zero. So,
Yeah.
like,
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
grills are scary unless you get them early.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure. Yeah, like if you mint them, like keep them forever because that's what like more money is. But like other multipliers of the grails are really worth it compared to the floor. Like, would you have like 4 floor than 1 grails?
Yeah, most people would prefer to have a bunch of floors
Yeah, exactly.
because
And
you can just drop them. If you have something that's in the middle or towards the top, you
yeah,
can't just go on blur and click a button unless, of course, you're like willing to take that giant hit.
yeah. And the middle, like the middle of the pack, is the worst to have because you
Yep.
have to floor them.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And unless you have like like the apes went from being floors
Yeah.
to like pretty high up, but now you see it came back down because like it just sort of slows down. People stop talking about it.
Mhm.
Maybe there was like a bunch of influencers that owned them and they were kind of like manipulating it. But yeah, if you get caught up in that and you buy an ape for 20 and now
Yeah.
you can't get rid of it for 11, like that's the scary part. So I agree. The safest thing is floors, and that's why Utes with their whole
Yeah.
like non-ranking system actually could be beneficial. I know that nouns obviously are sought after because of that whole club, but anything else, it's kind of like, okay, you can feel a little bit better about that. But yeah, if you're buying DeGods, I just tell people, look, just go get a couple floors.
Yeah. I like the non-rarity stuff. Like the community decide what's precious. It's cool.
Yes.
I
Yep.
love it. I love this concept, and they're killing it with like season 2 youths. But yeah, I mean, it's happening in 2025, so it's fine.
Wait. Oh, season 2 Utes, they're gonna change that?
Yeah, I think like you will reward the trait.
Oh, yeah, but they're not gonna
Right?
have ranking.
I think rarity is coming for youths season 2.
Oh, I did not know that, but that's kind of crazy because that
I
means
think.
whatever you hold could just randomly be rank 7 like one day.
Except some of them. Yeah, okay. So except like the noons threat and stuff, like they will keep the rarity. I'm pretty sure like the threat will be rerolled and the rarity will be included because Utopia was a lie, so there is that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, that's
think.
true.
But everything can change on Monday, and then we have a different meet on Tuesday. So yeah.
Yeah, I almost bought a 1-for-1 Ute one time, a couple times.
Yeah.
I was looking at them, and obviously right now it'd probably be not like down, but pretty close. But they were selling pretty good for a while there for like 50,000 plus.
And that's interesting that you count in USD value. Like you do that for your whole portfolio?
Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of do. I actually said a bunch of times in Discord, like, and it's funny because people
Yeah.
now they'll say it today and say, "Oh, I got this idea," and I said it a long time ago. I said I wish that OpenSea or Magic
Yeah.
Eden would list
Stablecoin,
and the price, the currency
yeah.
price. And some people say, well, they don't do it because like people spend 100 Sol way easier than when
Yeah.
they see that it's $6,000. Then they're
Yeah,
like, oh, it's
exactly.
expensive. But it would be so nice if you could pay in any crypto, but it says the cost in whatever currency is local to you or USD, or you can change it at the top right, and then you just know how much the worst. You know how much the floor is and stuff like that.
Why?
You said why?
Yeah, why in like fiat value over like for example
because then you can
20s?
say like, oh, the floor is higher. It's like 30 days later, and you say, yeah, but I bought it for 7,200. Now it's 6,750. So like you're down. So it's so hard to explain to people sometimes. It's not that hard, but to say, oh, I bought it for 200 Sol, and they're like, oh, you got a steal, and like, no, I didn't tell you what day. So then you tell them what day. It was October 2021, and they're like, oh, so you're actually down, and it's like, yeah. So it would be so much easier if you just, had the amount of number you paid, and then it's easier for your brain and easier when you explain it to people. You don't have to tell them what date and how much Sol was that day.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but 1 Sol equal 1 Sol, 1 ETH equal 1 ETH, right?
No, I mean, I do go with that. I let people say that, but like, if I
Yeah,
buy something for 20 grand, I'm not excited to sell it for 18 grand. Like, I
yeah,
can't say,
true.
oh, I got more ETH. Okay,
Yeah,
well, how much was ETH? So I just tell them, I just sum it up in, well, okay, I'm down 2 grand, therefore
yeah.
I'm not going to sell. So to me, it'd be easier if it was that route. And if Magic Eden, if you could click something and have it show that, it would be cool. But I don't think they're ever going to do it because they would probably get less sales.
Yeah, psychologically, it's kind of break you.
Yeah, some people are like, no, I want to pretend this is just magic
Yeah.
money. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's interesting because, like, for example, okay, no, my portfolio, I displayed it in USD value. I recently changed because I want to get to a ETH number, and this ETH number went quite lower today. But like, yeah, I changed my portfolio on Asset Dash just to have this number that I want to reach. But yeah, before that, I was displaying it in USD. But I still want more ETH, more Sol, and more Bitcoin at the end of the day. That's interesting.
Yeah, so if crypto pumps tomorrow, then you're not actually like down as much.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So that's the good news is you have two ways of it going up. But everybody sees that it kind of sucks because a lot of times when things are red, like NFTs,
Mm,
like it's sold.
yeah.
And then when things are green, everybody says, "Oh, the rule is you sell them." You like when we go green,
Mm.
it's like, okay, so when do we do both? When do we have a green day in crypto and a green day in the NFT? Like that would be great, but that hasn't happened in a year and a half. So
I mean, like, yeah, if it's going back to 1,000, is the flow of DeGod going to 20 or we're going to
no,
2?
exactly, it's not going to.
Uh,
ETH needs to go to like 3 grand or something, and at the same time,
mm,
DeGods need to go to like 12, 13, 14. Like people, for some reason, people don't seem to have great news when crypto's
mm,
pumping. Maybe they feel like, oh, this is going to buy us some time. But
yeah,
imagine releasing like the parlor on like the greenest day ever, and now it's just like it's like a snowball effect to that. That would be awesome.
yeah, no, yeah, that's true. Okay, so maybe we can delay until we have a green day.
Yeah, I know, but a green day these days is like $12, like on ETH. Like, oh, I can't remember the last like $400 green day.
Yeah, we have a green morning. Give us a
At the
green
same
morning.
time, you haven't really had a $400 red day, you know. But
Yeah,
if it's funny how people remember the red days way more than they remember the green. There's so
true,
many of them.
true. Yes, true. And like, yeah, like there's historical data, like on like the whole life cycle of Bitcoin, you have like way more green day than red. I think maybe I said needs to be confirmed. I think that's the data, but maybe
Yeah,
not. I
yeah.
okay,
I just hate when there's like a red day and Bitcoin goes down like 4 grand, and then
exactly.
it takes like 3 months to like trickle back up. It's like, why can't we have a day where it's boom, 5 grand
Yeah,
up on Bitcoin? Like that would be great, especially for BitGods. How many BitGods do you have?
3.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have two.
Yeah. And
Should I go with more?
I mean, if you want to buy one of mine, I'm good with it.
Yeah, if they get that back down to like 0.6, I was gonna
Oh
scoop like
shit!
10. I should
Yeah,
have bought like 10 when it was at 0.6, and then it went up to like triple that.
yeah,
And like you said, it's easier to sell those because they don't have all these like utilities and attachments. But that's
yeah,
yet. He says they're about to, so then it's gonna be even harder. And that's kind of why it's hard for me to sell stuff. It's because it's like
yeah,
I don't know what's coming, so it seems like less stressful when you just chill. But some people say, well, I'm gonna sell. I don't care what's coming. And of course, if you get over that hump, then
yeah.
that's fine. You can just buy and sell. But then I feel like you're trading, and there's not that many successful traders out there. So then I go
Yeah.
back to that. So I don't want to trade and just be like, oh, should I sell right now? Should I not? That's really stressful than just chilling, waiting till you're up, and then you pick a number. I'm up 300. I'm up 3 grand. I'm up 30 grand. Whatever number in your head.
I don't know if you saw this tweet, but like when when you see that you are up like 10%, you want to take profit at plus 20%. When you up 20%, you want to take profit at 50, and then you push, and then you like up 1,000%. You still haven't take profit, and then you lose everything.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I mean, it was just a tweet, but bro, that basically like with like Jazz, like one of the team member of like the DeGods channel, like we were talking like when DeGod was like a 600 soul, and basically like yeah, I reached like 1 million threshold for the first time. And I said, "Oh, bro, should I take profit or should I wait just a little bit?" And then like 2 weeks after, it went to 400 and shit like that. You know, and like it is what it is. But like, yeah, like you hit a number, you say, okay, let's get it a little more percent. That could be cool. And then yeah, fucked.
Yeah, dude, I don't have time to do that whole like, okay, sell 10%, now 20%.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna wait till it's way up, and I'm gonna sell the whole freaking thing. For a nice chunk. Now, DeGods,
Yeah.
if it hit 50 grand, like that'll be different. I can sell one, like that's a chunk. But
Yeah.
I understand some people want to sell for like 0.05 ETH and then like wait and then get another 0.02. Like, but everybody has everybody's net worth and where they live and the value of the dollar where they live and stuff like that. But if DeGods go to zero, like I'm still fine in regular life. Whereas some people, like if they went to zero, that's half their net worth. So
yeah. And yeah, you basically lost like 25% of your net worth today. Let's go. That's what's up.
And then if you have like families, like if you have no families, no wife, no girlfriend, and you're just chilling, then your risk tolerance could be super, super high. That's when it should be high. But people have families, like, no, I can't put it all in DeGods or all in dust, and they shouldn't. So my risk value, I have a family, I have kids, but I also would be okay without the DeGods. So that means it could be pretty high still, but mine is high regardless. I've gambled some of my life, been to casino several times. I've been taking a breather the last year or two, but some people's risk tolerance is very, very low. Like they only have a little bit of money, they have a family, and they can't really lose a lot, and so they should not put too much in, because then those are the people that are in the chat like, oh my god, my wife's divorcing me. Like you don't want to get into that scenario.
But do you see like investing in NFTs as a gambling? Or is that gambling or is that investment?
I would say that 99% of them are definitely gambling, but some of them have turned into like a stable coin. Like once you, like, I think eventually there's going to be like 5 or 10, and we might be there right now. And those 5 or 10 are fine. Like they, it's going to be very hard to go to zero. And those would be like DeGods, Suzuki, Bored Ape Yacht Club. But everything else, yeah, it's just a gamble. You buy it, you hope that it goes to 10 times within an hour, and most of the time it doesn't. Everybody knows that. I've bought plenty of shit coins or NFTs, whatever you want to call it, just trying to flip. And then every once in a blue moon, you have a Pepe or you have a Bonk.
Yeah.
And they just.
Yeah, it's something. Edimar, thank you so much. I love when you enter the chat. It's always time for a donation when I see your first message. Thank you so much. Love you. Yeah, that your donation will balance out the day, and I thank you for that.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. How often do you do this?
Oh no! Like I was like see in the chat, like there is Edimar like doing a $1 donation. You can see him, right?
What is it that happens when he does the box?
Yeah, exactly. So like he paid for like a super chat, I think, or like super something. Super
I got you.
emote.
So it's like paying for a sub.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like a sub, and just a donation to the channel to support what we are.
Yeah, it's like Twitch. Like on Twitch when you do that pay thing, and then you give 10 people.
Yes, sir. And and Edimar is doing that at almost everything. I mean, every stream is showing up is giving like $1, $2. That's my guy.
That's nice. And how many people are actually like watching it right now?
I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like we have 36.
Oh, nice. And how do you tell people about it? Like besides YouTube, do you like tweet it and stuff?
Yes. So yes. So yeah, we have like the Twitter plus the Discord when we share everything, and some people are like watching the show via our Watch to Earn platform, and for every minute that they watch the show, they get 1 token, 1 views token, and that's how basically how all Meta Watch to Earn. And in Q4, so early October, we are going to mint our NFT collection with the views token that they are collecting right now, watching us talking shit about season 3.
Nice. And how many videos do you do of like DeGods? Like, is it every week?
No, about DeGods. I mentioned DeGods in almost every stream because that's my identity and I have to flex. So I'm spreading the brands everywhere.
Yep.
And but we already had like a show with Mag where we talk about like DeGod. Even like Sean, we talk about youths a couple of months ago. I had Kevin at the beginning of the channel. He's coming back next week to talk about season 3. Next week, I'm gonna have like 2-3 streams about DeGods too because we need to talk about that. But yeah, like it just depends of like the Yeah, the momentum.
Every Thursday at 7 o'clock, or is it kind of vary?
I don't know, like it's whenever the guest is available, then I schedule the show, and what's up.
Okay, that's why you picked 3 a.m. because you did it for us.
Yes, see.
That was nice of you. So did you already sleep, or you're getting ready to go to sleep?
Oh yeah, bro. Like I'm just I'm kind of like walking by night, and yeah, just going to bed when I go into bed, and that's it. Because Web3 is kind of like American centric anyway, so just do what we have to do, right?
Do you have a wife and kids?
No.
Oh, cool.
But that's sorry, I'm going to get like a kid, 34 in a couple of months.
Oh, we're the same age.
See, it's because we are the bros, bro.
Yeah, I think the average is about our age, 34, 35.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same thing as the audience. Like we have a couple of like 35 people in the chat right now.
Oh,
but,
nice.
Yeah, we don't need a wife because we have females art now, bro. That's what's up. And we have a resident mom, yeah. But bro, like, yeah, do you want to mention anything else? Did we forget anything? Oh yeah, bro, what do you think about the female art? No.
Oh, I actually don't mind it. Like, I know some people were saying that they loved it. Some people were saying that they really didn't like it. I'm kind of in the middle about it. Like, will I change something mind to females? Yeah, I probably will. Especially like I have like one Grail, and I'm excited to see because it's the Soul Chain, which I think is going to be an ETH chain. I'd love to see what they have with that. But
that's gonna slap. Is that like the back, like the right corner that you have with the Soul Chain and the hazmat suit?
Yes. Yeah, so those are all my Grails. I minted. Sorry, I didn't mint that. That one is the only one I bought after mint, and it cost me, I think it was like 15 grand. And I just wanted to have one god that looked nice to be my PFP because all mine were floors. They all were very horrible. So that's why I bought that one. I think it was like 300 soul or something like that.
Nice.
And then my Ute, I minted, or whatever you want to call it, out of the tube. And that one's really cool. It's a noun. It's white on white on white on white. So
nice.
I think that's pretty sick. And
that's
then
cool.
On the DeGods, I minted 2. And with DeGods, I don't know, for people who don't know, they were the burned ones. So the majority are floors, because back when they had that paper hand bitch stacks, they were burning all the floors. But there are some that got through. Frank at one point said, you know what, we're going to burn some that aren't floors.
Yes, I remember that.
So if you list at 30 soul, 40, we're going to buy it, we're going to burn it. And so anyways, I went out and I traded one and put some money in, and that's why I have arguably one of the best DeGods. There's only 2 hazmats out of 435 or whatever. And so I got one of those, and it's got wings. It's got the ugly knife, unfortunately, but I'm pretty proud of that. And then just dust, I always want to support dust. So.
How much dust do you have right now?
The most I've ever had was 300,000 dust. That was like 3 or 4 months ago, but with the delays and stuff, like I'm pretty patient. Like I'm not over here flipping DeGods, but one thing that I couldn't resist was other opportunities, such as like when I first saw Pepe and it was pretty cheap, I definitely sold some dust and put it into Pepe. But I was fortunate because I bought like 500 billion Pepe, which would turn into like 250 grand. And then I unfortunately sold all of it. And if I would have held all of it, which I normally, I never sell anything. I'm like the person who holds to 0. But I said, you know what, I'm going to take profits this time. So I sold all of it. 16 days later, it would have been 2.5 million.
Fuck.
So that kind of sucks. And I should have just sold half, like some people said. But I'm not really about that half thing. Like you earlier were talking about, 10% and 20 and wait. I just said, let me sell all of it. I felt like it was going to be another bonk and franc, which I read those perfectly. I feel like with anytime that kind of stuff happens, whether NFTs or crypto, there's always like 1 or 2. There's the Apple and the Android, if you will. There's the Tesla and the Rivian. There's a McDonald's and a Burger King. There's always room for 2 to go boom. And you just have to see the first one. And then you see the second one. And then the rest you can still make money on, but they're just not going to get big in those. Shiba and Doge. Like there's always 2, Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
So I got into Pepe. Made some money on Bonk way back and Franc. And those were real quick. Those only mooned for like 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
So Pepe, when it was chilling for like 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, why would it just go boom?
Yeah.
But people were committing, the users kept rising, or holders rather. And then I didn't know Binance was going to make a decision that quick. I heard him on Spaces saying, we'll list anything with volume. And then I woke up that morning, Friday, May 5th, and I I bought some back. I bought like 50 billion, but I had 500 billion, so I only had 1/10 of that. So I made like another 100 grand, but it would have been like 2 million, give or take. And who knows if I would have held it, because it went to 3, and then like an hour later it went to 0.4, and that was the morning of Binance. So I don't know. Who knows what I would have done? Sold it all at when it was 1.5 million. Sold half. Like I don't know what I would have done. But one thing I'm upset about is that I always hold things and hope that they moon. And then the one time it does, 16 days later, it would have been 2.5 million. I don't know what I would have done with it. But back to your original question, the dust. So yeah, I was letting stuff out slowly, buying this garbage, buying that. I made a bunch of money on Ben.eth, made a bunch of money on PsyOp. I still hold a bunch of PsyOp. I know a bunch of people don't like that guy. Some people do. I'm fine with him. I mean, he could have rugged a million times. Some people say he did rug, but he doesn't have to talk to anybody. He could just literally get offline right now and have all this money, and he still hasn't done it. And I know that his the way he does things are a little bit different. Just pumping 5 million into a crap coin in the middle of the night, but that's still putting money back. Like if Azuki said, "Okay, we're going to randomly sweep the floor with 5 million," that's not going to upset people. And so that's exactly what he's doing. They're just mad because he didn't do it as quickly. They bought all those coins. He gave them out way after, and then they were waiting. They all sold, gave up, and then he just randomly did it. I'm fine with that because I'm patient. But some people wanted him to do it sooner, and they wanted to make 10 times in like an hour. And that's how the market works. Like everybody wants to do it quick, but when Pepe happens, it just makes people want it to happen even more. So the dust I have remaining is not that much. I only have like 10,000 dust remaining. But it's okay. I kind of broke even with the whole Pepe and stuff. And if I had dust now, if I had 300,000 dust right now, I'd probably be upset because I'd be down $1 times 300,000.
That hurts. But bro, like the only time that you took profit, that she's go to 2 million. That's I will never sell my DeGods.
Yeah, and I remember the day I bought it was like April 16th, and then like 3 days later is when it kind of started mooning. But the next day, the day after I bought it, it dipped from like the 0.1 back down to like 0.5, whatever. Zero. I don't know how many zeros are in front of it. And I almost doubled down. And I was like, no, dust. I'm not going to sell any more dust. Like, don't be dumb. You already got some. And if I would have, I always had to have like even numbers. So I was going to buy 1 trillion, and I would have got like another 30 grand worth. It would have been total input of like 75 grand for 1 trillion. And that would have been like at the top, it would have been whatever the top was. So if it was 4.2, it would have been 4.2 million. And I gladly would have sold all that at once. I don't give a shit what happens. I'd have clicked the whole button. But anyways, it didn't happen. Everybody has these things like, oh, if I would have, but I was very close. I did buy a lot. I did hold a lot. And then I just sold all of it when people were advising me to sell just a piece of it, get your money back. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get my money back. And then it dips, and now I'm back to like breaking even. That's why I sold it all. But then you have those people say, you know what, you made money, just be happy. Profit is profit. And so you could look at that angle as well.
That's trading, right? Like you can say, okay, no, I took a loss, or you can say, okay, no, I just preserve my capital, right?
We're all just waiting for the next Pepe, pretty much. That's what everybody was doing. But people get impatient. They want it to happen now. So they go on Blur and they look at these NFTs, or they go on Deck Screener and look at these shit coins. And everybody's just playing that game, just waiting. But the thing about Pepe and Bonk and stuff is it comes at the most random times whenever you least expect it. And by the time it comes, everybody's like, I'm not buying this crap. But you just have to have that, I saw that the shit coins were on season kind of like season 2 shit coins on Sol. When Bonk came around, like nothing had happened forever, and everything was kind of like red. And that's when it kind of starts. And so that's why I aped into it. And then when Pepe came around, I said, okay, shitcoin season just ended. And I said, wait, this is on ETH? I said, oh shit, this is on ETH. So like, this is the bonk on ETH. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the same thing. And that's why I put a bunch in that night, literally with 10 minutes after I saw it, I saw it on scrolling through Twitter. Obviously, if I saw it sooner, it would have been even better, because some people got in like super early. I could have had like trillions for the amount of money, because that's one thing with me is I always put a certain amount of money in, 20 grand, whatever, and I'll get whatever I can get.
Okay, so you're doing shitcoins and DeGods. That's an interesting profile of investors.
Oh no, I don't do them. I don't do them every day. I don't do them anymore right now.
Okay, it was just like a one-off, two-off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just it's kind of like a feeling, but I know that if I try to do it every day, or it's not going to go well. You see people doing that, and they're all they're down, unless of course you're trying to flip for like a 0.1 or something like that. But I'm not like that. I'm trying to make like a certain USD amount. Like, let me go try to make 50 grand. And like to do that now in these shit coins, which are all just like rug pulls.
Yeah.
I did have some of that Sonic one, the Bitcoin Sonic, whatever, Harry Potter, Donald Trump or whatever you call it.
Fuck's
yeah, so I had some of that way back. It would be like, right now it would be like 250 grand. But I sold it like even money at like 10 grand. Because I mean, you don't know. Like, you either have to sit on it until it goes to zero and be willing to wait. And if you did that with all the shit coins you ever bought, you'd be like way down.
Yeah, yeah, like it's a casino. Like I don't want to touch it. Like, yeah. Honestly, even the NFTs, I don't make that many NFTs. I don't have like that crazy amount of collection. Just like, yeah, trying to snipe like the best.
Imagine people that minted way back in when DeGods minted that whole month when everything was green. Imagine, I've met some people that haven't minted anything since that, and those people are all like way up.
Yeah.
So that's going back to the whole bonk and Franck and the Pepe thing. It's like, if you buy the first two and you do great, all you want to do is like do it again. But if you just stopped, you'd be like way up.
Yeah.
But people, like, they sell, which is good. They sell for profit, and then they say, okay, what's the next one? But sometimes the next one doesn't come for a long time, if ever.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like,
if people bought Bitcoin and Ethereum, like, they're way up. But if they bought any of this other crap in 21 or 17, they're down on all that. So now their profits are like kind of offset. It's just hard to know to buy those first two and then to only buy the first two. But yeah, if you do that and you can hold yourself to not buy any more, like, who could buy DeGods and go that high up that whole month, everything was green, and buy nothing else? Like, everything's green, and you're like, I'm not gonna buy anything else. And so that's why people do it. They're like, okay, let me kind of spread it out. Or no, to only buy just like two things and then be like so in the green.
Yeah, I mean, like, even like, you get a win and then you put back everything back to the second one and then you lose everything. It's like, yeah,
it's like going to the casino. You know, everybody's first casino trip is always amazing. Like, you always like win, and that's how they get you. You know, and I'm not saying they like purposely know it's your first time. I'm saying most people have luck on their first time, and then they go back for the next 12 years, and they're like, now they're in debt. And it's like, damn it, that first time was so good. But it's just hard to have that win and then stop. And that's why people do say it's gambling. You know, if you buy Tesla stock, like, it's not going to go to freaking zero. But you're also not going to freaking 10 times in 3 days.
Exactly. I bought the fucking top of Tesla stock.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, right. Yes.
Damn, I bought it back. I bought it at 180 before it split at all.
Oh, before the split, fuck.
Yeah, like 4 years ago. I did sell it though. I've sold it. I think I bought dust or something. I don't know. It just moving chunks around. When stuff goes like crazy, like Pepe, and then you have these other slow things, it's just kind of hard. But like I said before, like, I already have like properties, other stuff going on, which I don't even know if I mentioned it, or that I'm starting D properties.
Yes, I saw that on Discord. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that actually launches in like between 15 to 18 days. So for people who don't know, we're gonna buy properties in Dubai, and then we're going to sell shares of them. So 1% is the minimum you can own, and you'll own 1% of a property, a real property that people rent out. You can rent it if you live in Dubai or go there. It's an Airbnb. It's going to be the tallest hotel in the world. It should be done within a year.
Is that the casino one?
I don't think there's a casino in it. I'm not sure if there is. I haven't heard anything about that. But it's supposed to be the tallest hotel in the world, and it should be done within 6 months to a year. We do have a Twitter, dproperties_. And we haven't posted a lot. All I posted was, what the property looks like. But you could actually Google it and see like more images. But yeah, so we're going to start with X Plus. Let them mint first. I say mint. It's not an NFT. Like, you're not going to hold an NFT. We're not going to do it like that. You're basically just going to submit that capital, which is going to be $2,500 USD for 1%. So you can buy 5%, but then it'll be $12,500. But the good news about this, the difference between this and everything else that you're buying, shit coins, NFTs, is that you own the property. So like, it can't really go to zero. You know, you can sell it whenever you want. So if you're looking at Zillow and the value's gone up, you can list your 5%. So if you paid $12,500, you can list it for $22,500. And oh, by the way, you're getting monthly income from the rentals. The hotel gives 80% of all the renting in that each month to all of the owners. So if our unit gets rented 0 times that month, you're still going to get paid, because they take all of the money in the whole hotel, and 80% of that goes back to all the owners. So, and it might not be much. If you own 1%, you might only get $50. But compare that 50 to any other shitcoin or NFT where you're literally at 0 and you're getting 0. And oh, by the way, the value of the property is going up. And it's not just any property, the tallest hotel in the world in Dubai, which everybody's going to Dubai lately. And so
that's okay. Why is it? Is it on your Twitter account? Do you do it anything? Because I have your Twitter account, but I don't have the
oh,
property account.
you're right. I should add that to it. I'm sorry. No, I didn't do that. But no, it's dproperties_. That's the Twitter.
Okay, because the dproperty not underscore is like in Orange County.
Yeah, I actually called that guy yesterday and I said, "Hey man, I've noticed you haven't tweeted in like 5 years." And he answered. And they're a property management company. And I said, "Can I please have that Twitter? Like I'll give you $500 or, you know." And he said that he's probably going to do it. He said he doesn't think he needs it. And I told him that we're not affiliated. We're not going to be doing stuff down the street from him. It's very different. And then he was like, "Why are you calling it dproperties?" So I had to go through the whole like, okay, well, let me tell you about NFTs and DeGods. And so we're just putting D in front of everything. And so that's the reason why we called it that. And he was very nice. A lot of people would be assholes or say, "Give me 50 grand or whatever." But he sounded like he was going to hand it over. I told him if not, we were going to try the other way, which is where you just like mass report it. And then Twitter says, "Oh, this person hasn't even tweeted, so we're gonna let you have it." But I don't want to go that route. And if he says no, he doesn't give it to us, then that's fine. We'll just go with the underscore. But it would be nice to have the official.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like Habibi, come to Dubai.
Yeah, exactly.
At least we have somewhere to manage moment.
So we have 2 units secured. I put the deposit down with my own money, 10,000 each. So which is 4% on each unit, and then we'll mint the other 96%. We'll start with X Plus, then we'll go to DeGods SIII, DeGods, and then just anybody. They don't have to own one of those, but we obviously want to go in order of like where it started, and this kind of started with an X Plus, and that's the reason why we're starting with them. But we have 2 units secured, so even if the first one sells out, we'll go to the second, and if the second one sells out, this is endless because properties, as you know, they're everywhere. So we're not only going to buy in Dubai, we're just starting in Dubai. So if one of the listeners lives in Miami and they're like, "Oh man, like, okay, well then we'll get one in Miami." And 2 years from now, we have 40 properties, all owned by dproperties. You can go travel to one and stay there for free, for a discount, bring your family. It doesn't matter what country you're in, as long as we own it.
Bro, we need to do a stream about that. When you launch, come back to the channel, DM me, we do a stream, you explain everything.
Yeah, we haven't done our first space yet. I think I'm gonna talk on the X Plus space next Tuesday. I was gonna say something last night, or sorry, 2 nights ago. But yeah, on the Tuesday stream, but they couldn't squeeze me in with season 3 coming out, and I didn't really want to talk about it. I didn't want to like try to trump season 3. I wanted to kind of let that happen, and so you'll start seeing some major tweets from us.
Good timing, bro.
Yeah, I know. But I like this idea because I've said it multiple times in the chat for years, and people are like, "You should do that." And so I said, "All right, I'm actually going to try it."
But it's like a REIT, right?
Yes. Yeah, the difference between that is REIT. Sometimes you don't get any money. You put in like a bunch of money. You don't have a certain percentage. With this one, you will know how much of that property you own, and you can list it. We're using a platform called Unique, which was created about a year ago. And you can list your 4%, or let's say you want to list half of it. You list half of it, 2%. Somebody can see the property, 2%, how much you've been bringing in, and you can list it for any amount you want, and they can buy it. And if let's say someone floors it, they're like, "Oh, I'm only getting $40 a month. I'm out of here." Well, if they list it for super cheap, like $1,000, and want to take a loss, you can buy their 1% of a real property, which is worth, let's say, $500,000. So they're listing their $5,000 percentage for $1,000. You are instantly up $4,000. Now it doesn't mean it's going to sell an hour later for $4,000, but if somebody could buy a property for half price, like that's insane. It's not like buying an NFT half price. You're buying a real asset.
You can tokenize it too, right?
Yeah, we can. I didn't want to do any tokenization with like crypto and NFTs. Because in the beginning, we're like, "Oh, hold the NFT," but we don't want to do the whole like, "Oh, someone got scammed," or "Hey, they stole my 3 NFTs," and you lose your like. We don't want to. I don't want to have that happen. So we're not going to do any shitcoin, any token, and we're not going to do any NFT. It's just you have it in your wallet. Now you can still lose it if you lose your seed phrase. Like, there's nothing we can really do. We can't just like believe that you were the owner unless you dox. We will allow the option for people to dox. But the reason we're not going to assign you ownership is because then if you sell it and then you call me and act like you didn't, I can't just like hand you the percentage back. So that's where it gets tricky. So if you sell it, you sell it just like anything else. And if you lose your seed phrase, you could argue, okay, well, that's just gone. And then you can also vote.
cool.
We're going to have a voting rule. If
Yes.
60% of the people want to vote to sell the whole property, then then we can say, okay, we're going to sell the whole thing. So we sell it for $500,000.
That's
We
pretty
bought
cool.
it for $250. We've all doubled our money, and we go to the next one. And that's possible too. But for people who don't want to sell and the vote doesn't pass, you don't have to be upset because you can go sell your share right now without asking anybody.
That's cool. I love it. I want 1%.
Yeah, so
Give me
like I said,
1%.
it's open to anybody. You don't have to own a
Nice.
DeGod, but we're going to start an X Plus. And if nobody bites, if only 10 people bite, well, that's good for you because we're going to trickle down all the way down to Utes, DeGods, and there's a lot of people getting pretty hyped up about this. So I obviously
cool.
like I can't promise anything, but the difference between 10,000 NFTs, this only has 96 spots. So yeah, it's not $20, but you don't have to worry about it going to zero on the second day or the fourth day or something like that. You're buying an actual property at the tallest hotel in the world and one of the best places to visit in the world.
That's cool. And if I can come over the building free and stay in Dubai, I know where.
Yeah. If you can come over there and stay, like,
cool.
and say, oh, hey, welcome, and you're one of the owners, like that's pretty badass. And we're paying cash. Like we're not doing any loans. That's the reason we have to raise the full amount. Like I'm not going to go get a loan in my name based off 100 random people. Like that's not smart. And interest rates are not very good right now. So why would I want to get a loan at 8%? So everything we buy, it's going to always be cash. We're not going to have any mortgage. The only bills we're going to have is like the property managing, them cleaning the hotel, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be paid out. Take 15% out for the properties, which most companies take more than that, 20, 30.
Yeah.
So we'll take 15% out of the profits, and then the other 85 will be split amongst the 100%.
Is that kind of like a Grant Cardone real estate syndicate?
Say that again.
Do you know like Grant Cardone? He's a big like real estate guy, and he has like a syndicate, I think, where like he gave back like every month he give a check to his investors. Like he's leveraging like the money from investors and buy like big properties, and because the margin is bigger than family residential properties, at least that's what he's saying. And he's doing that at scale. But I think it's called a syndicate.
Yes. That's what most people are doing. That's exactly kind of what we're doing. Is you get a group of people together that have money, and you buy them together. Because most people that want properties, either they're too young, like they're not ready yet, or they don't have enough money. Like they can't go get a loan for $300,000, or they don't want to. So this is going to allow those people that are sitting there with $10,000, like what can I do in life? They can buy a property within 30 seconds. They can buy a piece of a property, and you can't really do that anywhere else.
Oh, that's cool. So V, you coming back on the stream? You come back as a co-host for CBD properties. That's gonna be dope. We're gonna talk about DeGods.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You can schedule it anytime in the next 15 days. I'll be ready.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm in Central Time, so like it's right now it's 8:45, so I'm pretty much free 10 a.m. till 1 a.m. So anytime. I work at home, so I'm free daytime, nighttime, whatever you have the most viewership, which is probably about this time because you work the USA nighttime.
Exactly.
So,
don't worry, have your DMs. We're like, I know where to find you, bro.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Maldives, Thailand, blah blah blah. This we have some. Okay, me. Cool. Is that Dubai Creek Tower you're talking about?
Is it Dubai what?
Dubai Greek Tower you are talking about. I think do you see the chat?
Oh no, I had to step outside because my daughter's sleeping and I talk kind of loud. So my 1-year-old. So, but if you look at the Twitter, we have a video that we posted.
Yes,
that's the hotel.
Let me pin that on. Why is that? I can pin it. Okay, I can pin it. Whatever. Okay.
We have an attorney in Dubai who's also our agent, and he's the one who represents X Plus now. So we're using them. Because some people might say, well, how are you doing it? Like you don't even live there. We already like partnered with someone who not only represents us legally, but also acts as our agent. And so they go to the builder, and they know like a lot of builders because they've been in Dubai. They're called One Link, and they have a Twitter. And so that's who's representing us there. And we also have some DeGods that live in Dubai. And so they've actually commented and said, oh, I drive by there. Like, it's looking freaking amazing. And like, I can't wait to buy a couple percentage. And so they're going to own a piece of it, and they're going to live down the road, which is pretty cool.
Okay, we need to make a stream, bro.
I own a couple properties right now. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I have some nearby in Florida. That's the reason, like, I've thought of about doing this. Like, I can't go out buying 10 properties with cash, but if we merge together.
Not yet. Like, we just need the ifs.
So I make between like 5,000 and 7,000 a month on each.
Nice. Shit,
so
okay.
You split that 100 ways, like it'd be like $50. Which, like I said, some people might say, well, that's not that much. But when you compare it to other stuff where you're getting nothing, or the fact that you still own it, so you can see it as a stable coin that only rises, because properties don't really fall too often. And if they do, it's not in Dubai or the tallest hotel in the world. Like, it's not just some random place in the middle of nowhere. So let's say it starts to go up $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for that 1%. So you have that, and then you have your monthly coming in. And people might flip it. They might say, okay, let me sell this percent and buy this one back cheap. If somebody wants to get out, that's completely fine. But you better believe if someone floors their percentage, I have no issues buying it. Whereas if they floor it different, like an NFT, it's like, oh man, should I get it? But buying a percentage of a property, going to be people just like waiting to get in.
Oh, that's exciting, man. I love it. It's cool. And you can diversify inside the DeGods ecosystem into other stuff.
Imagine, I own 3 DeGods, and I own 12% of 6 properties. Like, that's pretty badass.
I agree. I want to own some properties in Dubai.
Only 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but 1% of 50 properties,
yes,
like that's pretty cool. And it works for people because a lot of people, they don't make a lot per year. So to only have to put in 2,000, 3,000 every month or whenever we lease property, it allows them to not buy complete garbage like a shitcoin or NFT, still get rid of the money. It's almost like a safety net. That's why I buy properties, is because when the shit hits the fan and you own 4 properties, that's like a mandatory bank account. You know, you can always like sell one.
Yeah.
NFTs and shitcoins, they're all going to zero. You went from having $3,000 and now you have nothing. If you would have bought a property, you'd be like, oh yeah, you're not going to 10 times overnight, but you're also not at zero. People want what you have, whereas NFTs is like, no, I'm good, man. I don't want that crap.
I mean, like, what I don't like with real estate is like the management and the tax on ownership and shit like that. It's annoying. But if you manage that for me, I like it even better.
Yeah, everything will come off the top that needs to. We're gonna make sure we pay everything, so everything come off, and then then it'll be split. So, and then of course some months are better than others. But the difference between Dubai and where I live is obviously I'm in Florida, so the summer's like amazing. I'm not familiar with Dubai, but I think it's pretty year round.
Yeah,
it kind of stays the same, which is good news. And then the reason people would book this hotel versus any other in Dubai or the world is it's going to be the tallest hotel in the world. So people that are booking in Dubai is like, why not stay in this when I visit there? Because it's badass. And so that's another reason why we're launching with this one. It's like perfect timing. We were going to pick something else, and then he goes, oh, what about this? And they only had a little bit left. They were 93% sold out, and now they're 100%. So we have 2, and they don't have any left. So by the time we get to the end, this Dubai actually allows you to sell at any time during the build. So when they get close and they say, okay, we're almost done. Hey man, we got a guy that wants to buy like your whole thing for 320 grand, and we only pay 250. We can vote and say, hey, do we want to just sell? Like we're all making instant, like, $2 grand, or should we hold and let it continue to rise? And so we can vote on it, and people say, okay. And if we vote no, people who do want to get out, they know the value is currently around 320 grand, and they can list their 1% for 3,200. And they made an instant $700. Well, not instant. They had to wait for the build to happen. But you can assume the value is rising at the closer they get to handing you the keys. And other states, they have laws like, no, you can't sell it till it's done. Dubai actually encourages it. They want people to keep like flipping it and like selling it. And then by the time it's done, the guy is selling it for 400 and we only pay 250. And so that's another reason why Dubai is great.
They're flipping, like building in construction, and make like 2x on that. What, Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So if we get really big and if it goes really bullish, then we'll say, okay, now we want to buy something serious, like $1 million. Each percent is 10 grand. Otherwise, if things stay small, then we'll continue doing these safe ones, which are in the $200,000 to $400,000 range.
That's dope, and that's a pretty cool business, man. Love it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty badass. Like I said, I would love to own 2% of 100 properties. I think that would be really cool because that's what people that are in VCs and all that, like the giant things you were talking about, that's what they have. You know, I own 2%, and they're living in a mansion. You're like, of what? They're like, I don't know, 100 different restaurants or 100 different deep properties. Like that's how you feel pretty safe in life, and you have a check coming in. So I'm at $50 times 100 every month. Like that feels pretty good.
Okay, bro. Let's talk about that. Let's schedule a stream. We spent like 1 hour about it. We already spent like 30 minutes.
I know I already said like so much, but the Discord's open. Like it's open to anybody. It's not locked or anything. So if someone wants to sneak in there, I don't even know where the link is or if it's expired, but just follow the Twitter. You can DM me. I have no problem giving someone the link to the Discord. And people can start getting in there. And there's a lot of questions and answers. Like any question I get, I try to get the answer within 24 hours because I'm learning too. I'm not in Dubai. I'm not a realtor, but I do own some properties. So I know a little bit. But if I don't know it, then he's our legal representation. He's in the chat.
Yes.
We've already signed a document with him, X Plus. So he's going to be there to help us find the properties, find the broker, get deals. He was the one who was able to secure 2 units as opposed to 1 because these people don't even know us, but they do know him.
I talked to him like because I wanted to do like Dubai like stuff for having a syndicate to invest in XDeGods, and then I didn't like pursue it, but like it's nice guy. I like him. It's cool.
Oh yeah, he's actually really nice. He is, and MavX, the founder of X Plus, is the one who like discovered him and spoke to him several times.
Yes.
And stuff like that. And then I told him my idea, and he was like, he said, "Okay, X Plus is cool and all, but this is really good. Like we need to do this now."
That's dope.
So anybody I've told is like just completely freaks out about it. They're mind blown, and they want to hand me money right now. And I'm like, you just got to wait. And that's why I haven't tweeted a lot. I haven't really told anybody because I don't know what we're gonna do if we have 1,000 people that want to buy in, and I only have 100 slots. Like I don't know what we're gonna do. But that's not bad news. Imagine listing it the moment you get it, and people want to pay you like double. Like that's not bad news, but it's a good problem to have. But that's the reason why there's not 100 tweets, and I'm not over here. I'm not someone who likes to spam all over the place. I'd rather do the opposite. Have something badass that everybody wants, and very few people know about it.
I mean, bro, like take the money from everyone, and then you sweep the DeGods floor.
Yeah, some people are worried about that. They're like, "Oh, what if he just runs out with their money?" I'm not getting the money. You're submitting it to Unique, the platform, and then it goes. People can see it on chain, and then it goes directly to the wallet from the builder because that's Dubai accepts crypto, and so that's another benefit. We don't have to go. I don't have to drive to the bank and get a check. Drive down the street. Like that would make all these people like kind of freaked out. But the fact that I'm doxxed, I show my face. I don't care where people know where I live. You can look up my website, cbdgenesis.com. Like I'm the opposite of someone who tries to hide. I do live video all the time, so I'm not trying to hide anything. I have plenty of stuff in life. Obviously, everybody wants more, but I would love to do it this way and like combine our forces of everybody who has a couple G's laying around and they don't want to go to zero on another shitcoin or NFT. Well, let's do this. Like go to sleep at night knowing that property value is slowly rising and you're getting a monthly income. And then when you have shitcoins go to zero, thank the Lord I put that money into the properties because that's the only fucking thing I got.
Yeah. That's cool. I love it, bro. We need to talk about it. I need to DM you. We need.
Yeah, put me down anytime in the next 12 days. Discord.
Let's go. Okay, let's do that.
Find my Twitter and that Twitter because, like you said, you were on mine and you couldn't see it. So now I'm gonna try to push it, hit people who I am and stuff like that. And we'll go from there.
No, 100%, bro. I pin you. Oh, no, I didn't pin your message. I can pin for. Okay, forget it. But share it. Like if people are interested, they can just click it. And like V, who is also like investing in real estate, she will co-host with me for the stream, and we can prepare that. And even next week you can come back. Next week that could be cool. And we can
next week I think I'll probably do a Twitter space. I'll do your thing. I'll do like another thing on Discord. So I'll probably do 3 or 4 because, like I said, we like have to do the raise before the end of August because the builder wants like the money. You reserve with 10 grand, but he can't sit around all day. So that's why we're going to do it soon. But at the same time, we don't need months and months to plan. It's very simple. It's a property, 1%. Here's the cost. You either want it or you don't. And we only have 96 slots, and some people want to buy 5 slots. So like that's a huge chunk out of it. And the maximum, which I don't think I mentioned, is between 20 and 25. I think we picked 25. I'm not really sure. But we don't want someone to buy the whole thing. Like just if you're going to buy a whole property, just go do it. You don't need us. For the most of them, But that doesn't mean they can't go buy another in that 26, 27, 28. If people floor, they floor. So,
yeah.
But yeah, we're not gonna like let someone just buy the whole thing.
That's cool. Are you going to put like some percentage of the properties in the parlor points?
Oh, I actually thought about doing some sort of event where like I give 2% of mine away just to like blow it up, but I don't even know if I can do that because it's already blowing up. Whenever I tell people 9 out of 10 like say they're going to be there. So, but yeah, I thought about doing some sort of giveaway and saying, here you go. Like imagine giving someone or somebody winning a percentage of a property. I think that's pretty badass.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love it. I love this concept, man. You need to come back. Okay, let's talk and let's schedule something for next week.
But you know, some people are really big with like, oh, this and that, and let me call the lawyer and legality. So I'm not trying to make anything complex. That's the reason I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm making very simplistic, whereas most people would say, oh, I don't know about that. Everybody's just scared of everything.
No, 100%. But no, it's a banger idea. I like it. Yeah, just come back to the channel next week, and then we can enjoy our time together and talk about season 3.
Okay, that sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate you having me. This is like one of the best calls I've ever been on. So whatever it is you do, I'm going to start following it very heavily.
Thank you so much, bro. Yes, I think, we can wrap it up now, right? Thank you so much, everyone who joined us on the stream. That was an amazing. See, that's what we do with DeGods, right? Like when we talk about DeGods, when we talk about a project, like we go for 2 hours. And thank you so much for your time, CBD. That was amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. I know how time is valuable, so yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Family. And I do want to say that stuff I said about the properties, it is like subject to change in the next 2 weeks. So I don't want anybody to hold this or hear this on YouTube and like hold it to like concrete. It's still being drawn out. So a couple things could be tweaked before we actually launch.
Yeah.
I just want to mention that.
Perfect. No, that's okay. Like don't worry, we will talk about that next stream. It's gonna be a banger. Another banger.
Cool,
Thank you so much. And
have a good night, man. Thank you. Or have a good sleep. Go to sleep.
I'm going, yes. I'm dead.
All right, take care, everybody. If you can't find the Discord, they can hit me up on Twitter, and I'll see it to them.
Amazing, bro. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you in the next stream next week. Then, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.